Oh, hi. It's Dalby. A couple things we did not get to on the show today that I want to talk about. Sometimes we get things that either you can't talk about on the air or they would take too long. You don't want to use up the whole show to talk about, but you want to talk about them. Let's start with the fine folks at Adidas who sent out an email to everybody who finished the Boston Marathon on the weekend, who's on their mailing list with the headline, "Congratulations on surviving the Boston Marathon." Now, normally, that would probably not be something. If you finished the Queen City Marathon here in Regina and somebody sent you an email that was like, "Congratulations, you survived," you probably wouldn't take that out of context whatsoever. But considering the Boston Marathon got bombed and 3 people died back in 2013, maybe not the best choice of words. And people are freaking out. I'm never going to buy an Adidas product again in my life. If you like 3 Stripes, you'll be buying 3 Stripes. If you don't like 3 Stripes, you probably weren't going to be buying it anyway. They didn't mean anything by it. There was no malice behind it. It's not like they were like, ooh, you know what we can do? We can really make people mad about that whole Boston Marathon bombing thing from a few years ago. It was just a case of someone came up with an idea and nobody along the production line before it got released was like, wait, hold up 1 second. Maybe that's not a great idea. And you're seeing this more, right? With the Pepsi ad with Kendall Jenner, where it's like she calms the police down and stops a riot by giving someone a can of Pepsi. All these little weird marketing things that aren't designed to be offensive. But in 2017, in the era of outrage where everybody's mad about everything, marketing firms just need to be a little bit more hesitant before they take something from idea to out in the public where they can get crucified. What else happened today? Donald Trump hates Canadian dairy farmers. I try not to talk about Trump too much on the show anymore because who cares anymore? But now this one's sort of got an impact on us. North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, is a thing that Donald Trump has been hating on for a long time, says that it gives unfair advantages to Canada and Mexico, and it puts American workers out of work. It holds them back, and I don't know, maybe he's right about some things, and maybe he's wrong about some things. He's wrong about a lot of stuff. Basically, the way it works right now is Canadian companies can import certain amounts of dairy and poultry, but after they go over that set limit, there are big, not fines, but tariffs, taxes that they have to pay to bring that much stuff up. So the idea is you can get it from America if you really want it, but it's going to cost you more. So why not get it from a Canadian dairy farmer or poultry farmer or whatever it is? Donald Trump says that that's taking jobs away from the fine folks of Wisconsin. Okay, sure. This is the problem with the Donald Trump presidency, is he treats everything like he's a toddler in a toy store. He's running around wild, yelling about this and that's what makes it so hard to take him seriously. Not to mention that a bunch of Canadian politicians have come out and been like, pretty much everything you say about this is statistically and factually inaccurate. So we'll see if anything goes with that. Basically, the big thing to watch here is Trump has said that if he doesn't get his way about fixing things that he doesn't like in NAFTA, like the Canadian dairy farmer protections, that he's just going to blow the whole thing up, and that could be a serious problem. And finally, let's talk about the Sharks putting up a touchdown on the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL playoffs last night. I said it on this show, on this microphone, that Oiler fans were getting a little too cocky, a little too ahead of themselves. They were looking really good in the first 3 games of the series against the San Jose Sharks, but it kind of fell apart a little bit last night, and I think that was to be expected. Everybody suddenly just wrote off San Jose because the Oilers had looked so good in the series, forgetting that they made the playoffs because they're okay at this hockey thing too, and they remembered and they reminded everybody else by putting up 7 goals unanswered on the Edmonton Oilers. But now the series is tied, right? 2 games apiece. So the series basically becomes a best of 3. That's the beauty of the way the playoffs work. It doesn't matter if you win 1-0 like the Oilers did in Game 3 or 7-0 like the Sharks did in Game 4. It still counts as 1 win. So as long as the Oilers can shake it off, they can come back from this. I'm still picking them to beat San Jose. But again, before Oiler fan or any fan starts screaming at the top of their lungs on the internet or wherever about how great their team is, just remember these other teams are pretty good too. Otherwise, they'd be where my Detroit Red Wings are, which is on a golf course somewhere. And that's about everything that we didn't get to talk about on the show today. I'm back on the air from 3 until 7 tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. TheWolfRocks.com, 104.9 FM if you're in the Regina area, or, of course, on our free app. Just search Regina's Rock Station in the Google Play Store or on the App Store on your iPhone. Have a good night.